I was going to GNC to grab some more protein as I'm headed to the gym. So while I was turning on the car, listening to the radio, and I hear Amanda Seales' voice.
Niggas got me fucked up. Oh, niggas got me fucked up.
I personally did not know that Amanda Seales has a radio show in Houston. It's called the Amanda Seales Show. And I'm sitting there listening, and she has a co-host. I don't know this brother's name. If you guys aren't familiar with Amanda Seales, she don't like black men.
He's aligning relationships on surface things versus grounding them in the depths of our spirit.
That made me think about Kevin Samuels.
Why? Why do you think about Kevin Samuels?
In terms of what I think I wasn't subscribed. So for the record, I wasn't one of his.
I was gonna say, you better put a disclaimer quick.
I'm not one of his followers.
If you put yourself automatically in a submissive or inferior position, you might be a simp.
But when I do talk to people that have been in tune with his messaging, it does seem from the outside he was trying to, I guess.
She tries to mask it as she's trying to uplift black men by telling them the truth.
Because if you were a guy acting the way that you acted, they'd be like, oh, she's a boss.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I've been getting this thing lately where I've been getting men that are like, she's masculine. Like she's, she's masculine. She's, Amanda Seales she's pretty, but she's not sexually attractive. Like I know a lot of women who are just like, why do brothers fight with us so hard? Like, why are you so mad at me all the time?
You complain all the time about don't nobody want your asses, don't know how to treat you. As soon as a man or brother show you genuine interest, you bitches act simple. And then you wonder why we go out with white women.
But if you know who this woman is, she just don't like black men. She's back on that bullshit. And it's cool. We know what to expect from the woman. It is what it is. But this is who Amanda Seales is. So I'm listening to the radio, and her co-host actually mentioned that Pew Research just put out some new information about the black population. They said that the black population has increased by 32% since the year 2000, I believe. Amanda Seales, she inserts by saying, man, I wonder if that increase is due to the amount of black men who say that they don't like black women and all these black men having children with white women or non-black women.
A recent Pew Research study revealed that the black population has grown by 32%, amounting to 11 million people from 2002 to 2022. So a 20-year, 32% growth. That's not bad at all.
I want to know, does that include the black men who are like, I don't date black women, they too loud, and are having black babies with white women? Does it include those black babies? I just want to I want to find out the asterisk on that. Just let me know.
So she's trying to say basically that the increase in the population is because black men are impregnating all these non-black women. And it just so happened to fall into my lap as I was making my way to the gym. And you know me, I got to be the asshole. I got to do the research to put things into perspective for you guys. So now we gonna cook. Thanks to Amanda Seales. Let's take a look at what your boy found. This is what they were referring to. This just came out January 18th, 2024. As you guys see up there, it's from Pew Research. Facts about the U.S. black population. So let me read this for clarity. The black population of the United States is growing. In 2022, there were an estimated 47.9 million people who self-identified as black, making up 14.4% of the country's population. This marks a 32% increase since 2000, when there were 36.2 million black people living in the U.S. So again, let me bring myself up here. If you are familiar with my channel, I gave you guys a distinct difference between people saying when it says black or African American. If it says African American, they're specifically talking about the black people who actually were born in the United States, African American. So when you say black, that encompasses all black people, Caribbean, from wherever the hell you're from, that encompasses all black people. So that's why you have an increase. They're not talking about just the black people that were US born. And I'm gonna break it down for you guys so we can be very clear on this. So this fact sheet that we're about to view is a profile of the demographic, geographic, and economic characteristics of the US black population in 2022, presented through the lens of 4 different groups. What did I just say? The total US black population, single race, non-Hispanic black people, multiracial, non-Hispanic black people, and black Hispanic people. So this is what they're talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and remove myself so you guys can see the bottom. So they actually broke it down. So if you look here, it's 47.9 million black people in the US. So nativity, like I stated, US born, 42.8. That sounds very familiar, but from the numbers that we usually report. I usually tell you guys that there's about 20 million black people, black men in the States, and there's almost 22 million black women. I believe it was at 21.7 million. Now that number has increased to 42.8 million. Now you have the foreign born. When you see the multiracial identities, that encompasses US born and foreign born. So you can see black multiracial, 3+ racial groups, and they give you that 1.44 million. Black biracial, 5.8. Black and white, 3.8. Black and Asian, 314,000. Black and some other race, 1.2 million. So I'm pretty sure you guys are asking, why am I bringing this up? Because of the fact that Amanda Seales, she believes that it's black men having all of these babies by non-black women. But we're going to cook. I'm going to give y'all a little history lesson real quick. So we're going to take a look at the history of the fertility reports from the CDC once again. And just for clarification, for convenience in writing, the term black or non-Hispanic will be used instead of the full phrase non-Hispanic, black, or African American single race. So they're basically telling you it encompasses black people. So this is the study that you guys have probably seen before on my platform. If you guys didn't know, the CDC has been tracking these fertility reports since 1973. And they did that on the same year that the Roe versus Wade baby deletion ruling was passed. Now, what we're going to look at is a period of time between 2006 to 2019. That is a huge chunk from the 2000 population to the 2022 numbers that were just released and what Amanda Seales was talking about, right? So between the period of 2006 to 2010, Hispanic women are more likely to have a biological child, 65%, than non-white Hispanic women at 52%. But there were no differences between Hispanic and non-Hispanic black women at 62%. So between the years 2006 to 2010, black women had mothered 62% of the children. Meanwhile, a higher percentage of Hispanic men had a biological child at 54%, compared with both white, 41%, and black men at 49%. Let's go to 2011 to 2015. So if black women had birthed 57.1% of the children between the years 2011 to 2015, and black men have only fathered 46.6% of children between the year 2011 and 2015, which number is bigger? Who's responsible for that overage of non-black, quote unquote, non-black, multi-race kids? Black women. Now, let's go to 2015 to 2019. A higher percentage of Hispanic women, regardless of nativity status, 62.4%, And non-Hispanic black women at 61% had ever had a biological child. Black women have had 61% of the kids between 2015 2019, followed by non-Hispanic white 54.6% and non-Hispanic Asian at 47.9%. The percentage of men, regardless of nativity status, who have ever fathered a child, 50.1% was higher for non-Hispanic white, 43.9%, and non-Hispanic Asian, 35%, and was similar to the percentage for non-Hispanic black men at 46%. So again, let's do some simple math. 61% versus 46%. What number is the highest? 61%. So once again, between a 13-year period for every category, 2006 to 2010, 2011 to 2015, 2015 to 2019, black women have had far more children than black men. So let's break down the approximate numbers of black or African American fertility between the years 2006 to 2019. As you're looking at the screen, you'll see the statistical numbers that calculate the population by millions between the years 2006 to 2019, which are the fertility years that I'm going to be reporting on. After calculating the averages for all 13 years, the total number of black or African American people comes out to 41.39 million. The fertility of black men and black women aged 15 to 44 in the United States, as reported by the National Survey of Family Growth between the years 2006 to 2010, black men had fathered 49% of the children, and black women had mothered 62% of the children. Between the years 2011 and 2015, black men had fathered 46.6% of the children, and black women had mothered 57.1% of the children. And lastly, between the years 2015 and 2019, black men had fathered 46% of the children, and black women had mothered 61% of the children. Black women mothered an average of 60% of black children between the years 2006 to 2019. As opposed to black men who had fathered an average of 47.2% of black children between the years 2006 to 2019. Now, for black women, 60% translates to approximately 24.8 million children mothered between 2006 to 2019. Now remember, the 24.8 million children mothered represents all of the children that were born between those 13 years. That does not mean that 24.8 million black women have mothered children. Now, for black men, 47.2% translates to approximately 19.5 million children fathered between the years 2006 to 2019. So in conclusion, black women have approximately mothered 5.2 million more children than black men have fathered between 2006 to 2019. So if the additional 5.2 million children weren't fathered by black men, who did black women have those children with? You guessed it, other races of men. Now I know the rebuttal to this argument would be, well, there may be more black mothers, but black men actually fathered more children over that time frame. So let's do the numbers. For black women between 2006 to 2010, 38.3% had no children, 19.4% had one, 21.3% had two, 11.3% had three, and 9.8% of black women had four or more children. Between 2011 to 2015, 42.9% of black women had no children, 20.5% had one, 15.3% had two, 11.4% had three, and 9.9% of black women had four or more children. Between 2015 and 2019, 39% of black women had no children, 17.1% had one, 21.4% had two, 12.9% had three, and 9.5% of black women had four or more children. Now, if you do the averages on each individual category, 40% of black women had no children, 19% of black women had one child, 19.3% had two, 11.3% had three, and 9.7% of black women had mothered 4 or more children between the years 2006 to 2019. Now let's take a look at black men. Between the years 2006 and 2010, 50.9% of black men had fathered no children, 18.3% had fathered 1, 14.3% had fathered 2, 8.5% had fathered 3, and 8.1% had fathered 4 or more children. Between 2011 and 2015, 53.4% of black men had fathered no children, 17.7% of black men had 1 child, 14.4% had fathered 2 children, 9% had fathered 3, and 5.5% of black men had fathered 4 or more children. And finally, between 2015 to 2019, 54% of black men had fathered no children, 16.5% of black men had fathered 1 child, 15.2% had fathered 2, 7.2% had fathered 3, and 7.1% of black men had fathered 4 or more children. So between the years 2006 to 2019, 52% of black men had fathered no children, 17.5% of black men had fathered 1 child, 14.6% had fathered 2, 8.2% had 3, and 6.9% of black men had fathered 4 or more children. Now, if you add those 3 percentages together for black women, the total comes out to 59.3%. And when you do the same for black men, the total comes out to 47.2%. This approximate is a 12.1% or 641,048 total number of children mothered by black women difference between the years 2006 to 2019. So again, who is actually responsible for the increase of biracial children in the black community? That would be black women. And to be clear, I'm only addressing this in response to what Amanda Seales said on her radio show.
I want to know, does that include the black men who are like, I don't date black women, they too loud, and are having black babies with white women? Does it include those black babies? I just want to I want to find out the asterisk on that. Just let me know.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with having multiracial children. This is just another example of black men being thrown under the bus while we were simply minding our business. Some people don't believe, like when I put these numbers out, they'll say, well, how did black women have more children than black men? Do y'all think it's more races of men out there than just black men? So when you see an overage or an increase in the percentage of the population for years, and this is throughout time, it's damn near, I think it's between like 40 to 45% of men have ever fathered children. So what makes the black community think it's different for black men? It's not. So that's why I decided to point this out and put Amanda Seales on blast, because she has her own little show and she's still on that BS about blaming Jermaine. And it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. So no, black men are not responsible for the influx of interracial children. And again, there's nothing wrong with black women having children with other men. But you want me to put things into perspective for you, Amanda Seales? Only 4% of married black women are married to white men. Only 7% of married black women are married to non-black men. So non-black men, white men as well, have been knocking black women up out of wedlock and not marrying them. So that puts a dent in the whole narrative that black men are responsible for all these children out of wedlock.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yo, let me refresh our memory real quick. Hold on. Between the ages of 15 to 49, 2015, 2019, black women have mothered 1.2 million children with non-black men. And this was approximates based off of the 2019 and 2021 data.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So yeah, it's not black men. You have a conversation to have with black women. Ask them, why are they allowing these non-black men to impregnate them and not marry them? That's your job. That's not mine. So before you stick your nose in the black men's business, make sure you do the research on your own first. before you come over here and getting on your radio show and trying to put a bug in black women's ear to make sure it's black men's fault. You can have a kid with whoever you want, but when you start lying on black men, that's when I get involved. And this is one of those situations where I got to correct somebody who considers themselves pro-black / woke. We good? Gotcha. I know the black community hate my ass. And I love it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't all that lying on black men, that shit is not gonna fly no more. I'm here now. It's a new day, bruh.
I'm the one. Shit's changed. It's a new day, bruh.